Hey everyone, thanks so much for tuning in. Really cool video to share with you guys tonight. We're going to be taking a look at a knife called the Max Evolution. And this is a collaboration between Millit Knives, a specialty knife shop out of Idaho, and custom knife maker Jerry Moen of Texas. And what makes this piece really special is that it is I think the first time that Millit has done a collaboration with a maker rather than taking commissioned builds, which is what they've done in the past. So it's kind of a new phase for them. It's essentially an evolution or the next step in what they're looking to do, and hence the knife is appropriately named the Max Evolution. So I'll do my best to kind of tell the story, as you know, I think the stories are just as interesting as the knives, and then show you the tremendous amount of detail that's been put into this particular knife. So let's get into it. The knife ships with just kind of this plain box here. Max Evolution, name of the knife, Jerry Moen's logo, and Millit Knives logo. Has a certificate of authenticity that's a sticker, a couple other stickers, and let's get into the specs. So this is a titanium liner lock flipper. We are looking at a 3.75 inch blade, although the cutting edge is closer to 3.6 inches, 5-inch handle, 0.53 inches thick, CTS XHP blade steel, done in a very aggressive hollow grind, kind of a Wharncliffe sheep's foot modified blade shape. Weighs in at 5.8 ounces. Has a ceramic detent, and it uses 440C stainless steel bearings, and the titanium is protected from the stainless steel bearings with a stainless steel washer. So, you know, steel on steel, no worries about wear and tear on the titanium. And it does use a titanium lock bar in here. So, yeah, tremendous amount of detail. As far as how this collaboration came about, Millit and Moen have been working together, looking at some different designs for a while now, and he really liked their work, and so it was his idea to go from a commissioned build into a collaborative piece. He sent them his Pathfinder, which is a smaller model than this, and he said, hey, go ahead and scale it up and then put your own design language or your own design influence into the knife. So as you can see, the handle shape is essentially identical with the Pathfinder, although it is larger. And then Millit Knives came in here and designed their own blade shape to go with the handle. I think it's executed quite well. And you know, kind of another difference when we're looking at a collaboration is that both makers, or you know, Millit and Moen, both have some skin in the game in terms of costs of the build. You know, essentially advertising, making sure that it's successful. They both have their own parts to play, and you know, it's not the maker essentially putting up all the capital to have the knives built, and then it's up to them to, you know, take care of any customizations or any sales, things like that. So that's kind of where the difference comes in. Overall impressions, man, it's really, really nice. I don't think I've seen too many other production knives with this level of machine work before, and I think that Shane over at Millit really did a good job in kind of summarizing this knife as well as their future collaborations, and he described it as machine tolerances with hand work finishes, or hand finished work, and I think that's quite an accurate description here on this particular knife. You know, something that gets thrown around a lot is people talk about custom quality, but in reality, a custom maker will never be able to meet the tolerances of a CNC machine that can work within, you know, hundreds of thousandths of an inch. The human eye and the human hand, while able to do amazing things, really cannot match the fine fit and finish of machine work. So when you look at this knife and you look at kind of the machine tolerances with, you know, what you would assume is quite a bit of hand work, it's a very impressive build, and it's a new format, a new sales format for Millit. So what they're looking to do, they've created a new website, and they want people to essentially order the knife and customize it kind of all in one fell swoop. The goal for them is to have you go online, build your knife, and then the lead time that they're shooting for, while ambitious, we'll see if they can pull it off, is 2 weeks from the time that you order until the time that the knife ships, with some of the different options being inlays, different types of Cerakotes. They've done custom grinds, carbon fiber, some other weird materials, custom backspacers, anodizing. Yeah, I mean, kind of the sky's the limit. I think it's a lot like a Wilson combat build. You know, you choose the base model and then you get to kind of go crazy from there. And if you want to get really expensive, you're certainly welcome to do that. Damasteel, limited numbers. So those are some of the different options to keep in mind, and kind of what they're looking to accomplish moving forward with the collaborative pieces. I think they'll still do commission builds, but you know, this is the next step. This is the evolution. This is how they are kind of creating or furthering their stamp in the knife industry. All right, without further ado, let's take a look at the blade here. So again, modified Wharncliffe, you know, sheep's foot, very, very aggressive hollow grind, comes down to a very fine edge. This thing slices, and XHP is an excellent steel to, you know, maintain the integrity at the edge and maintain that edge fairly well. So I don't know that this is a knife that I would take and start beating on a 2x4 with. Yeah, it's just a really aggressive hollow grind, but it slices through. Oh man, I cut through a lot of food packaging with it, you know, really thin plastics. Went through paper tape. I mean, all of your basic EDC really excelled at. So some of the nice details here, hopefully the lighting doesn't wash it out, but a fully rounded spine. Jimping up top. Moderate to low traction. It's definitely not uncomfortable. It serves as a good index for your thumb. And that's more of a sharpening notch than a choil, you know. It kind of works, but I wouldn't do it. Here we have Jerry's logo. And then, of course, we do have the Millit logo. Fairly subtle. I think they're both tastefully done. In the right light, you can't see them, and then in the right light, you definitely can. So, flipping action. Here's the flipper tab. Again, rounded. I mean, there's just no sharp edges on this knife. Every inch has been massaged and worked. I mean, just look at all of the rounding. They even rounded this portion right here that leads up to the flipper tab has been rounded as well. I don't recall seeing anyone else spend the time there. Really interesting. A little bit of jimping. I find myself doing kind of a push down, not necessarily straight pullback. There's the action. This one's actually broken in quite a bit. It came not as smooth, but it breaks in nicely. Not to say it wasn't smooth, but it's smoother now. That's the best way to describe it. So, yeah. Alright, so that's what the action looks like. Yeah, just everything's absolutely rounded. Let me just show you guys some of the detail here. Pretty crazy. Custom pivot, of course. Torx head. And this one is titanium. They do some in stainless steel. I believe all the stainless steel are Cerakoted though. But yeah. Now, looking at the handles, the crazy radius, they actually built a custom cutter to essentially cut the radius here on the handles. I thought it was all done by hand until I talked to Shane, and I still find it very, very impressive that they were able to develop a machine to do that and have it do it so well. So, really nice diamond pattern here in the center of the handle. Again, on some other ones, they're inlays. As you can see, a 3D titanium clip, blind screwed from the inside, completely solid, no wiggle whatsoever, and it works perfectly well in jeans. Enough of a gap there. As you can see, there's actually a little bit of texturing on the inside there. That's a nice detail. On the underside of the pocket clip to aid in grip. Very cool detail. My first time actually seeing that, so hopefully you guys are catching that down in there. That's really neat. Backspacer, again, there is not one sharp edge anywhere on this knife. That backspacer has been machined from every single side. It's essentially the exact same as the jimping here in terms of grip, so offering a little bit of grip. Liner lock, less than 50% lockup. As you can see, it protrudes a slight bit. Not uncomfortable in the hand for me. Yeah, I don't think that's uncomfortable at all. I was talking to Shane about it. I said, hey, you need to figure out a way to essentially embellish the liner lock here, where you make contact with it. I think maybe that's the only thing that could use a little bit more love on the knife. And again, that's not a knock. It's just, hey, if we're going crazy like they are, maybe something there, maybe like a Rockstead style. Who knows? Anyways, it doesn't really matter. There's the inside. 3 screws that, of course, they're hidden. Blind screws that connect the titanium liner lock here to the handle. So, yeah. Centering is, of course, perfection. So, yeah, lots of really cool work. Again, machine tolerances with hand finishing. Again, if you guys weren't aware, Millit is primarily or heavily comprised of employees who used to work for Chris Reeve. So these guys definitely understand, quality, fit and finish, extreme tolerances. And I think between the different guys in the shop, they have over 30 years of knife making experience. So really cool piece. This is essentially the base model or entry-level model. And yeah, as far as pricing and options and all that stuff, I just say go to the website. I'll put the link in the description box below if you guys want to spec out your own build, see what it would cost you. Once you're deep into it, you can always throttle a little bit back. And then, Millit's been really good as far as communication and customer service, things like that. So very, very cool piece. As far as, the first model to kick off the new collaboration concepts or phase of their growth, I'd say it's an absolute winner. And I can't wait to see kind of what they do next. So again, the Max Evolution, collaboration with Jerry Moen and Millit Knives. And thanks so much for watching. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the video, and I will see you guys on the next one. Take care.